All right, we're going live. So I don't know that they can see this really, but no, not really. But there's a picture of a, oh, because it disappeared. You guys can say good morning if you want. This is a picture of a horny lizard or horny toad. We're starting with that today. And I'm going to turn it around, I think. There we go. I don't think I need my fleece anymore. Good morning. Thank you guys for coming. It's good to see you. We are going to start today in a child's pose, but in an extended supported child's pose. So what I recommend is that we're going to take so extending your arms out, you're probably going to want to take your knees wide like this. So if you want to double up your mat to create more padding under your knees, you can. The other thing is I want you to use, does everybody have blocks? If not, you don't have to, but I would like you to use your blocks. And take your hands, and so if you want to open up first initially without the blocks, you can, just taking your arms along. But take your hands on the blocks and curl your fingers around the front of the blocks. And slide those blocks forward so you get a nice opening through your shoulders, but widen them, maybe even off your mat so your shoulder blades are wide. And then if your head doesn't touch the ground, just maybe bend your elbows a little bit to get the head down. Yeah. And then allow, so we're still in a child's pose, you're still going to allow your hips to come back towards your heels. If you find when you get there there's discomfort, then come forward a few times and work your way back. You might even take your hips side to side. So take some movement into it to find that space of comfort. You're going to be getting a big stretch through your arms, chest. Yeah, widen the blocks if you need to. Let the tops of shins relax into the earth. And locate your breath wherever it's showing itself this morning. Yeah. And then bring the breath into your backside. So whether that's you're feeling it through your low back, your middle of your ribs, upper back and shoulder blades. See if you can steer your breath either physically or energetically into your back. So in the energy world, we call the backside the shadow side. It's the side of past. It's like it remembers things. It's also the side of future. And just breathing into that space, whether it's physically or just feeling it coming up and down your spine. So before we started, I showed you all a picture of that lovely horny lizard, otherwise called a horny toad. So yeah, I was up at about 11,000 feet hiking when we ran across that guy that was about the size of my palm. Very camouflaged. He was beautiful. And that's the first thing I thought is how beautiful. And of course I delicately walked over to see him. And my natural instinct as a yogi was to start chanting to him, because as some of you might know, I also do that with cows and chickens, and I know that it calms them. So I thought, let's chant to this toad lizard, whatever it is. So I started to chant to it, and within 30 seconds it closed its eyes and looked completely peaceful. And I was able to get within about 6 inches of it and just sat there and chanted to it. And it was beautiful, and it was a beautiful moment. I was thinking, what an amazing creature that has been created that I've never got to see. And first time seeing one, it was just really cool, right? Take one more breath there into your backside. And then you're going to slowly come up. Remove your blocks from under your hands and just do some cat-cows. So inhaling into your cow pose and exhaling into your cat. And find that movement. Let your arms be long and strong. Notice if your chest feels more expansive. One more round. Then we're going to come back into that child's pose, but we're going to rearrange the arms a little bit. So knees wide, maybe even wider this time for more inner thigh stretch, and work your hips back slowly. But as you do that, slide your right arm through with the palm facing up. And you can use your left arm as a pillow if you want, if your head doesn't come down. Otherwise, let that outer right arm and cheek come down to the ground. You might also find it more comfortable to put a block underneath the head. If there's any sort of cranking going on in your neck, put a block underneath your right ear. And let the weight fall back towards your hips. Let the weight of the upper body fall down towards the earth. So when I showed you that picture, I'm just curious for yourself. Ask yourself, what was your reaction? Seeing one of God's unique creatures. And you know my reaction. I thought it was beautiful. I approached it peacefully, curiously, and with respect. So about an hour later, we ran into somebody on the trail who happened to be from Texas and went to Texas Christian, and that's their mascot, is the horny toad. What are the chances, right? So we were talking about the toad, and she said, oh, you can't go within 6 feet of them because they spit blood out their eyes at you, and it's very toxic and poisoning. Yeah, that's what she told us. That was her mascot at school, so she knew all about him. And so I want you to think about that for a moment. It's toxic and poison, and it spits blood out at you. That's pretty desperate, right? To do that, pretty scared. Take another breath, breathing into that right shoulder blade area, upper back, back of the heart. So our backside is made for protection, not just in us, but in every being. Last breath out. Inhale, come forward again, and just take yourself through another round of cat-cows. And this time, if you want to add the feet in, you can press the tops of the feet into the ground as you inhale into your cow and your back bend. And exhale, roll the toes under, and maybe even take your hips back towards your heels to stretch the soles of the feet a little bit more. Inhale forward into your cow. Exhale, rounding into the cat, maybe tucking the toes. But mostly just finding that flow through your spine. And we'll take one more round. Then widen your knees one more time. We're going to thread that left arm through. So you're going to take your hips back, slide that left arm through, palm facing up, resting on your left cheek, or you can take a block underneath your cheek. You could use your right arm as a pillow for your head. So there were a lot of things we were warned about. Of course, bears. There's lots of sightings of large creatures with claws in Colorado, but the toad was not one that I was afraid of, instinctually. So what's my point here? My point is that fear is taught. I approached this beautiful being with respect and love and peace, and that's what I got back. I didn't go towards it being scared and afraid because it's different than me and I don't know anything about it. Fear is taught. And that's not to say we don't need to respect each other's differences. But maybe take a moment to think about some of the things that you've been told to be fearful of, to be afraid of. One more breath, breathing into the back of that left shoulder blade. Breathe right underneath the shoulder blade. Think of the space where the lung comes right up underneath your left clavicle area. And then begin to slide that left arm out Coming back to all fours. This time you can slide your blocks to the front of the mat. Walk your hands slightly in front of the shoulders and your knees back. And we're just going to rock back and forth. So inhale into a knee plank, feeling your core active, your arms hugging into the side body. Exhale, press back, hips towards the heels. Inhale, knee plank. And exhaling and pressing back and just finding your breath. Watch that we don't drop the belly, lead with your heart. So think that backside is strong and protecting you. Don't let it collapse, even into the lumbar spine. Keep the kidneys lifting, your rib cage. Come back, or come forward into the next one. And then exhale, bend your elbows, come all the way down, heart first. Take the toenails into the ground, press the tops of the feet into the ground, and inhale into your back bend. And float your hands off the floor. Let them float off. Feel the back line. Feel how strong your back line is. So it protects us and it's strong. If you want, you can move your head side to side. Pressing those toenails down, feeling your hamstrings and your glutes in the back line, helping to support the back. Exhale, come back down. Press the hands into the ground. Inhale to all fours. And now exhale, roll your toes under and find your down dog. And feel free to work it out, moving one hip and the other. You can bend a knee, shake your head out. Check to see your thumb and index finger are as wide as your outer shoulders. And before you try to straighten the legs, lengthen your spine. So keep that generous bend in the knees and lift your tailbone up towards the sky. You can even look between your thighs, then let your head drop. Take 2 more breaths there. And now we'll do what we did before, but without being on the knees. Inhale, just rock forward into your plank without dropping the belly. Exhale, pull back into your down dog. Inhale, forward into plank. Exhale, down dog. Next time, inhale forward into plank. You're going to drop your right knee to the center. Come onto your right hand. So you're going to turn sideways to the long edge of your mat. And inhale, lift the left arm up. So yeah, we'll be going in a circle. Beautiful. You can reach thumbs straight up over the ear, or you can reach your arm over your ear and the hand in front of your head. Up to you. Opening up through the side. If you want a little more challenge, you can lift that left leg up off the ground. If you want to feel more core challenge, keep the foot on the ground. Try lifting the right hand up. That also gives you an opportunity to relax your wrist. And if your wrist is giving you grief, you can make a fist instead of being on the palm, or take the hand slightly in front of the shoulder so the wrist isn't right underneath the shoulder. One more breath there. If the foot's up, take it down. Take the hand back down. Come back to all fours. Do a round of cat and cow. You can take your hips back, and if this one you want to get a little bit funkier and make some circles, feel free to do that. Don't be afraid of moving the way that feels good for you. Move your backside around. Come back to all fours, hands slightly in front, knees back. Find your down dog again. Inhale, shift forward into your plank pose. Exhale, pull back into down dog. Inhale, forward for plank. Exhale, lift up into down dog. Maybe each time your heels are sinking a little more towards the earth. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. This time, come forward and drop to your left knee. Kick that left foot towards the long edge of the mat. Line your left wrist somewhere underneath the left shoulder and inhale your right arm up. Thumb can come over the ear or all the way arm over the head. Bring your pelvis forward, hug your inner thighs. Option to lift the right foot off the ground if you want more hip action. Or you can keep the foot off the ground, lift the left hand up if you want to feel more core action. If the foot's up, let it come down over the hand. Take that right arm back down to the ground. Turn towards the center of your mat. Lift your hips up and back into your down dog. Inhale, shift forward for plank. You're always welcome to come to your knees because we're going to exhale slowly and gently come down, heart first. Inhale into your back bend. We're going to hold for a few breaths, but you can use your hands this time. So imagine sliding the heels of hands towards your hips. Bring your heart forward, shoulders back. Spread those collarbones. Pressing the toenails into the ground. Reach the big toes towards the back of the mat. Breathe into the chest. Feel how strong your backside is. And then as you exhale, you have your choice of either a child's pose or a down dog for 5 to 8 breaths. Child's pose, you can rest, you can shift your hips. Down dog, let your head hang. Last breath wherever you are. And then we're going to meet in down dog. Find your space in your down dog. And we're going to come up on our tiptoes. So bend your knees if you need to. See if you can come out of the ball mounts of the feet and slowly tiptoe your feet towards your hands. So you're going to have to kind of get small. Take your time. Take little steps. Little steps. You can come onto fingertips to give yourself a little more height. Little steps towards the front. Until your feet get to where you want to be in the front. Bend your knees, opposite hand to elbow, and just ragdoll. Let your head hang. You can swing a little bit or sway side to side. Take your hands to your shins just below your kneecaps and inhale, come out. Find that strong back again. Draw your navel center in, maybe chuck your tailbone down just a little bit so the front abdominal muscles are also active. And now lift up through your leg line. So press the heels into the ground. Spread your hips apart towards the long edge of the mat. Really get the legs waking up. As you exhale, pour yourself back in your fold. You're welcome to bend your knees again or keep those legs a little bit straighter if it's there this morning. As you press into your heels, inhale, come all the way up. Take your arms up, take your gaze up towards the tops of trees, and pause there for a moment. Feel how your back line is supporting you. And exhale. Take your hands back down to the center of the heart. If you're not at the front of your mat, come to the front so you got some space and everybody's got their blocks, yeah? All right. We're at the front of the mat. My rooster's being very, very loud today. Hands to the heart center. I think he missed you. Hands to the heart center and pause for a moment. Inhale, sweep your arms up. I'm going to turn towards you guys. You're going to take your palms together, press them, elbows can bend, and try to draw your arm bones towards your ears. You can cross your thumbs to get a better connection of the palms. So press the pinky finger side together too. And then as you exhale, take a side bend over to the left. Pressing that pinky toe side of the right foot into the ground. You can even just let your left ear rest on your arm somewhere if you want. Move your head slightly. Inhale, come back to the center. Reach up again, find length through both sides. Maybe one side feels longer now. Press the palms together, even the pinky finger side. Exhale, side bending over to the right. Inhale, bring yourself back to the center. Nice. We're going to exhale and we're going to take a twist. You're going to take your right hand forward and your left hand back and keep your hips where they are. Let the rotation come through your waist and above. So draw that right hip back slightly. There you go. Reaching out through the fingertips. Breathe into your chest. Inhale, both arms and come back up. Reach up. And then we're going to exhale and twist to the right side. So left arm forward, right arm back. Spread through the shoulders, but plug the arm bones in Watch that left hip doesn't come forward, so draw the left hip back, hug your inner thighs a little bit. Feel the rotation through the ribs and the back, not the pelvis. Inhale, hands back to the center. Exhale, take your hands through your heart center, bow into your fold. As you inhale, you're going to come halfway out, and you can do hands to the shins or to the ground, whichever one is more appropriate for you. As you exhale, you're going to plant your hands, you're going to come back into plank pose, and that might be plank on your knees or full plank, so your choice. Finding that space. If you're off your knees, press through your heels. If you're on your knees, lift your lower abdomen. Either way, hug your arm bones to your side body, turn your inner elbow creases forward, and dial your hands out towards the long edge of the mat, pressing into the thumb and index finger. Exhale, slowly come down. Inhale, you can do cobra or up dog in your back bend. See what you're open to. What is your back ready for? Exhale, child's pose or down dog. Hello. So I know for me, one of the best things yoga's done is help me get over certain fears. There's a fear of trying to do handstand, right? There's also, that's a physical fear. There's an emotional fear of being next to somebody and knowing that you're not going to be able to do what they do, that you have limitations. Sometimes it's just a fear of getting to know yourself. Come back into your down dog. Bend your knees. We're going to come to the front of the mat. Look forward, and you can walk your feet as we did last time, or bend on the exhalation and inhale, step or jump, coming halfway out, hands to the shins of the ground. So maybe try that jumping today. Exhale, bow into your fold. Inhale, press into your heels, come all the way up. Take a back bend at the top if you'd like. Lift your heart, take your thumbs back. If there's too much compression in the low back, tuck the tailbone down, draw your navel center in. Take that gaze up. Exhale, hands back to the center of the heart. Nice, we're gonna do 3 more like that. That's our salutation for today. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Take your palms together as you exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale, back to the center. Exhale, side bending to the right. Inhale, center. Release the hands, exhale, right hand forward, left hand back. Draw that right hip back into your rotation through the waist and the shoulders. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twisting over to the right. Reach through your arms. Nice. Inhale, back to the center. Exhale, hands through the heart center, bow into your fold. Hands to your shins or the ground as you inhale, come out long. Find that long spine. Exhale, plant the hands, bend the knees. Find the top of the plank. Take an extra breath in at the top of the plank, strong. Exhale, coming down. Inhale into your back bend, up dog or cobra. Exhale, child's pose or down dog for about 5 breaths. Last breath out. Find your down dog as you breathe out next time. Look forward. Try your jump this time. Bend your knees and then imagine that puddle in the middle of your mat. Come forward on your inhalation. Halfway out. Exhale, fold. Press into your heels. Lift your leg line, your knees. Inhale all the way up. Strong back and spine. Exhale, hands back to the center of the heart. Pause for a moment. If you're not at the front of the mat, you can come to the front. So sometimes when we jump, we don't make it there. That's okay. You can always walk back at the end. We'll do 2 more of those. Inhale, taking your arms up overhead. Cross your thumbs. Press the pinky finger side together. Exhale, side bend to the left. Or whichever way. Inhale back to the center. Exhale, side bending to the opposite side. Inhale, center. You're going to release the hands. Exhale, twisting to the left, reaching through right fingers, left fingers, but think of it from the waist. Draw that right hip back. Inhale, back to the center. Reach up. Exhale, twisting to the right. Let your spine turn. Inhale, back to the center. Reach up. You can take that little back bend up there. Exhale, hands through the heart center. Bow into your fold. Hands to the shins or the ground, inhaling halfway out. So get long, create length through the spine. As you exhale, bend your knees to plant your hands. Step back into your plank on your knees or full plank. Taking that inhalation there. And then exhaling, slowly come down heart first. Cobra pose or up dog as you breathe in. Exhale, child's pose or down dog. Pausing there for a few breaths. So notice even in your practice, is there something that you've always been afraid to do? Sometimes we don't give ourselves credit. Or I know for me, for many years, I used an old injury as an excuse to not do certain poses. My body was healed, but my mind wasn't. And that's fear of re-injuring ourselves. Let your head hang if you're in a down dog. Let the neck relax and be long. And we'll meet back in that down dog. Lift that tailbone, maybe work your heels a little bit deeper down. And then look forward on an exhalation. Bend your knees. Use your legs to bring yourself forward on an inhale. Halfway out. Exhaling and folding. Press into your heels. Lift everything up. Bring that energy of the earth all the way up through the fingertips. Let's pause at the top for a little back bend. Reaching up. Feel how strong your backside is. Exhale, hands back to the heart center. Nice. Last one. Come to the front of the mat if you're not there. Inhale, arms come up overhead. This time we're going to add a little bit in. So as you exhale in your side bend, we're going to the left first. If you want a little challenge, you can take your weight into your right foot, stepping your left foot out to the side, keeping toes on the ground, or even lifting it up into a standing half moon, pressing through the heel, drawing the top of the foot towards your shin. So what's that challenge? Can you is it like, oh, I can't do this? You go into it saying you can't do it, right? Try it. Approach it with positivity, with curiosity. Take that foot down, reach back up on inhale. Exhale, side bend to the right. Let the weight come into the left foot. And even if the right toe stays on the ground, that's all cool, right? But approach it curiously, with peace, happy thoughts. Lift up the leg if you want. The worst that can happen is the foot falls back down, right? You will not get blood spit at you. Take the foot down, come back to the center on inhalation. This time I want you to draw your knees together, so sew up the inseams. As we exhale into the twist, you're going to come into a chair as well. So watch that right hip and knee doesn't come forward. Sit a little bit deeper if you can. Take the knees back behind the toes, reaching through the hands. Nice. Draw the weight towards the back of your mat so you can feel your thighs. You might even pulsate a little bit. But weight rotation comes through the ribs and the chest. Inhale back to the center. Keep the legs if you can. Exhale, rotating over to the right. Sometimes the fear is just that you're not strong enough. Don't say that. You are strong enough. Inhale back to the center chair. Feel those legs. I know you're feeling them. Reach up. Take a few breaths there. Hands can be at the heart center if you'd rather. Exhale, slide your hands down through the heart. Take your bow forward. Lift the hips up and back. Might be a little bit deeper stretch for the back line if your feet are still together. Inhale halfway, hands to the ground or to your shins, whatever accommodates a long spine. Exhale, fold back down, hands plant. Find the top of a plank on your knees or full plank. Take that breath in on the plank. Exhale, coming all the way down. Cobra or up dog for your back bend. Exhale, child's pose or down dog. I remember the first time I thought of thinking I'm not strong enough as a fear, but it is a fear. It's a fear that we create in our minds. It's taught, like all fears. Come back into your down dog. Bend your knees, look forward between your hands. If you want, you can use the buoyancy of your legs to jump forward on the inhale. Halfway out. Exhale, take that fold. Inhale, press into the heels, come all the way up. Let's take that back bend at the top. This time you might even take your palms together, cross your thumbs like we were doing with the side bend. Draw that. Support the low back and open up. Long through the side bodies, hug the arms towards the ears. Exhale, hands back to the heart center. Nice. Drop your arms down, come to the top of the mat. And you guys all do, yeah, you have your blocks. Sweet. All right. Bring the legs back together like your inseams are sewn together once again. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, we're going to sit down into the chair pose. Take an inhale there. And then exhale and turn to the left as we did before. You got it. But this time, see if you can take your right hand down to your thighs, left hand to your waist, or elbow to the outside. It's up to you. Face you guys. So we're sitting in that chair. Just begin to notice your left leg more than your right, whether your elbow is on that left leg or your arm is across both. And see if you can come onto the ball of the right foot. That's all. And then see if you can lift that foot, even just for a moment. You can go back down, right? Take it down. Nice. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, sit back down into the chair pose. So hug to the midline, inner thighs engaged too. On an exhalation, rotate to the right. Sit deep. Draw the knees back behind the toes. And then either left hand across the thighs, right hand to your waist, or left elbow to the outside of the right thigh, palms together, your call. Begin to feel your right leg and just transfer the weight first, and then see if you can come onto the ball mount of the left leg or left foot. Maybe you try to lift it up. Just give it a go. Nice. Put it back down if it's up. Inhale, come back all the way to the center. Reach up, straighten the legs. You're going to want to be at the front of your mat because we're going to exhale, bow through the front into the fold. Take a moment in the fold. If you want to stretch your hands a little bit more, take the palms up and press the backs of the hands into the ground. My wrist creases are facing towards the long edge of the mat. You can bend your knees to do that, or you can also place the backs of the hands on a block. So I'm going to be here for a few breaths. So you could put, if you can't reach the ground, the backs of the hands on the backs of blocks. On the blocks. Stretch out the wrists, spread your fingers apart. So palms are facing up towards your face. Must be 10 o'clock. Release the wrists, come halfway out, hands to the shins or the ground. Exhale, bow back down, plant your hands. Step back into your plank pose. From the plank pose, you're going to bring that right knee forward like we did earlier. And kick that right foot behind you. You're going to face the long edge of the mat coming onto your right hand. Inhale that left arm up. Nice, take a moment there. So this is a version of side plank. See how that feels for you. And then take that left hand back down. Come back into your plank pose. Now you're going to turn onto the pinky toe side of the right foot and big toe side of the left foot. Drop your hips. So here's the thing, just drop your hips to the right, your right hip towards the ground. You can keep both hands on the ground. Or if you feel like just coming onto your left fingertips, try that. So this is the full version of plank. If that feels okay, then go ahead and lift that top arm. Otherwise, play with just fingertips. But keep that side body strong, right? Tell yourself you're strong. Draw the back of the head towards the shoulder blades a little bit. So crown of the head in line. Take that hand back down. Come onto your toes. You can either flow through a half series coming into your back bend or take child's pose or down dog. So I always find when I do best in a yoga practice, I've been doing more videos now too, when I don't know what the teacher is leading me into, because sometimes my head gets in the game, you know, my head goes, oh, I hate that pose before I even do it, or I don't do that pose correctly, or I don't do it the way that I want to do it. It's like we sabotage ourselves with our own fears before we even do the posture. So that's why yoga gives us modifications, like steps, right? We'll meet back in the down dog. Turn towards you guys. And then when you're ready, shift forward for the plank pose. Bring that left knee forward, drop to the left knee, kick the left foot behind you, coming onto the pinky toe side of the right foot. So we did this already, right? You can lift that right arm up. Imagine lifting the left waist, stretch that right waist out, hug your thighs together. So find this modification first. Where are you in this modification? And then take that right arm back down. Come back into your down dog, lift your hips up. And then you're going to fall onto the pinky toe side of the left foot, big toe side of the right foot. Let your shoulders come forward over your wrists like you're in a plank pose. And just drop the left hip towards the ground. Keep both hands on the ground if you'd like. Or maybe just come onto right fingertips. If that feels okay, lift the right arm up. Yeah. And just because one side doesn't want to do it doesn't mean the other side's going to react the same either, right? Feel strong through that lower left side. Lift that left waist up. Last breath. Take the right arm down. Spin your hips towards the ground. You can either flow through or take your child's pose or down dog. Side plank, Vishisthasana. We're gonna come up to all fours. We're gonna give the wrists a little stretch after that. So first thing I want you to do is take your palms facing forward, bend your elbows, take your weight to the back seat to start, and then come forward and just sort of make some gentle circles. And then if that feels okay, you can do the same thing but turn the fingertips towards your kneecaps, but still keep your elbows bent. Just make some gentle circles. Elbows can come out to the sides. Yeah. Some people like to turn the fingers towards one another too. That's sort of a midway point. And then release the hands. Just take the hands, shake them out for a moment. I'm on my knees. You can do the same if you want. Just shake them out. Move your wrists and hands. Nice. All right. Back down into our down dog. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, come all the way down. Forearms to the ground this time. Find your Sphinx pose. So draw those elbows right underneath your shoulders. Press forearms into the ground. Lift your heart forward. Take your shoulders back. Reach your toes towards the back of the mat. And just breathe. Feel that strong back line. All right, so we're gonna do another version of side plank. Right side first though, so I'm gonna face you. So you're already on your forearms, but you're gonna turn your right forearm so it's parallel to the short edge of the mat. And then you're gonna turn sideways towards the long edge of your mat. Press that forearm into the ground. Take your left hand to your hip and take your thighs back so your thighs are in a straight line with your belly. So your spine and thighs are in the same line. And then see if you can just lift that bottom hip. See how that feels. Right? Give it a little lift. You can drop it and lift it up again if you want. But take those thighs back. Nice. And then take it back down. Keep that left hand on the ground for a moment. Extend your legs. Stack the left leg on top of the right and see if you can lift the hip. And you can keep that left hand on the ground, or you can take it to your waist or reach it up overhead. So just another version of side plank. Your version. You can also drop the hip again, right? But don't say I'm not strong enough. Try it with the hand on the ground. Take it back down. You're gonna kick that right leg forward in front of your hip. So you can bring your toes out in front of you and then roll onto that right hip, tucking the right arm through, palm facing up, and just rest on your right cheek like we did when we were in our child's pose. Take a little rest there. So right arm and leg sticking out underneath your body. Just resting into the right shoulder blade. Relax that right arm completely. You might even open and close your hand or rotate your wrist. Feel like your left shoulder and hip are just beginning to fall towards the ground, spinning towards the ground and finding their support. One more breath there. Take your left arm to the ground so it's supporting you. You can pull that right arm out, draw the right leg in. So there's no pretty way to do this, right? Either take your child's pose, your down dog, or if you feel like you want to flow through, you can come to the top of a plank, do your back bend. Your call, we're going to do that on the other side. Then if you're not in your down dog, find your down dog. Lift your hips up and back. Nice. Shift forward for plank as you breathe in. I can always do knees. As you exhale, come down, heart first. Find your Sphinx pose. So really engage through your upper back and shoulders by pushing the forearms into the ground. If you can't feel that, what sometimes helps is take the palms up, press forearms into the ground. Imagine dragging your elbows away from one another and see if you get really active in the upper back. You get rooted down through shoulder blades. Then you can take the palms back down. Reach the toes. There's too much compression in the low back. Draw the tailbone and let your head move. So what are you saying to yourself as we go into this second side of forearm plank? That idea of not creating fear around the pose, right? Or not sabotaging yourself. Chant if you need to, it works. And then we're going to take the left arm this time so it's parallel to the short edge of the mat and my shoulder is right over my elbow. I'm going to roll onto my left side. And then you're going to pull your thighs back so they're parallel to the belly. So make it one long line so you don't want the knees in front of you. You got to draw them back. And you can keep your right hand at your hip. Imagine you got a hook there on your right elbow and somebody's lifting up your elbow. Lift that right hip off the ground. Feel that strength through your side body. Notice where you're feeling the strength. And the more you can rotate the right shoulder up towards the sky, you'll feel the weight in the back of the left shoulder as opposed to the front. Lift that left waist. All right, drop back down. Take the right hand to the ground as well, just by the left hand somewhere. Let them play together in the grass. And then extend both legs long. You can stack your feet. If stacking the feet doesn't work, then both feet can be on the ground. But I'll encourage you to try to stack the feet up. Whoops. Stabilize through that strong back, side body. One more breath. Take the hand down, take the hip down. Slide that left leg forward so that foot might even be up to the height of the hip. It doesn't have to be. Slide your left arm through, palm facing up, rest under your left cheek. You can use your right arm as a pillow if you'd like. Just rest. Letting your right shoulder and hip fall towards the ground. One of our greatest fears, they say, is our own fear of being inadequate. Take your right hand to the ground, press into the right hand, slowly unthread that left shoulder. Once your shoulder's there, you can bring the left leg in. And then I want you to grab your blocks once again. We're going to begin and end in the same spot. So widen your knees. You can bring your big toes together. Grab a hold of the blocks and wrap your fingers around the front of the blocks. So this should be a nice wrist stretch too. Slide those blocks forward, slide them out to the sides if it feels like you have more space in your upper back. But keep lengthening through the side body. So as you slide your arms forward, take your hips back, and then see if you can just let your forehead find the ground. If that happens easier by bending the elbows, go ahead and do that. How does it feel now? We did a lot of upper body stretching, rotation, some core strengthening. Breathe into your backside once again. Feel that space of protection. Notice as much as we want that stability through the backside, we need to have a sense of softness and freedom and space in the front side. So soften your heart towards the earth. Every breath out, relax towards the earth. Every breath in, feel your length and your strength in the backside, all the way from the finger elbows. Bend your elbows. Slowly come back up. Last pose, crow pose. So if you want to do crow pose on your knees, I'll also show it on your backside, but I'm here, so I'm going to show it on blocks first. You can stand on some blocks. And we take our hands to the ground, hug the knees into the arm bones. And I might just shift forward and not even lift up my feet, right? Because the fear comes in lifting, right? That you're going to fall on your forehead, or maybe you're going to fall back to your tail. But practicing from here, if this pose is new for you. The other way is, I call it there's the hand version is the show horse. If you want to do the workhorse, you can come onto your back. That's where we're going next. Hug your elbows into your knees. Take your hands up towards the sky. Bring your big toes together. Draw in through your navel center. So this is all the same amount of work. Just not that fear of being on your hands and you can't fall, right? No fear of falling. So you can do it that way. And your wrist might be happier. But we're playing with crow pose. Take flight. And if you've done the block version and you feel like coming forward feels pretty good, lifting one foot and then the other. Then the next thing is to get those big toes together and squeeze. Your call. The feet never have to leave the floor, it doesn't matter. Or just try lifting up onto the tips of the toes if you've never done that. What's next for you, right? But create that resistance between the inner thighs and the arms. Inner thighs hug the arms and the arms hug the thighs back. Nice. This is a pose for me that many years ago when I first learned it, I smacked my forehead really loud in a workshop, and my pride was hurt more than my forehead. But it didn't matter. I didn't want to do it anymore, you know? Right? Everybody heard me, turned and looked. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. Don't look at me, right? That's what we do. So then I was fearful of it. I never wanted to do it in a public class again because I was afraid I was going to fall and embarrass myself. So anyhow, the things we learn about ourselves. I am going to have you come onto your backs. Hug your knees into your chest and just make some circles, some nice soft circles. And then we're going to do a reclining version of cow arms just to stretch the shoulders, a final stretch. So what I want you to do is roll onto your right hip just a little bit so you can let your knees fall to the right. Take your left hand and put your palm down and slide your left hand underneath your waist, your low back. So my elbow is poking out to the side, and then I'm going to just let that left hip come back. So my left arm is somewhere underneath my lumbar spine, wherever it's comfortable, and you'll feel a little opening through that left shoulder. And then you're going to roll slightly onto the left shoulder, take your right arm overhead, reach it, and then bend into your right elbow and slide your right palm somewhere around your right shoulder blade, like you're trying to touch your right shoulder blade, and then roll back onto the right hip. So this is a reclining version of cow face. Typically in cow face, if I were to show it, the hands would come together in the center of the back. You don't need to do that. This is the yin version, so you can keep your left hand on your low back, your right hand somewhere on your upper back. If you want more stretch, slide the right hand more towards the center of the spine. Otherwise, keep it all the way out to the edge. And whatever you want to do with your legs, they could come into Baddha Konasana. You can cross your thighs. Let them fall to one side. Breathe into your chest and your arms. Let the weight of the spine fall into the earth, into your arms. So that bottom left arm is in what we call an internal rotation, so you're rotating that arm bone in. The upper arm is an external rotation. And just feeling that stretch through the arms and shoulders. But the back is relaxed and supported. Let go. Don't need to support yourself through your arms, through your back and spine. It's all supported for you by the earth. Feel the weight of your body falling into your hands and arms. Keep your jaw relaxed. Let your eyes fall into your skull. I believe we all have this subliminal fear of letting go too, completely, right? Letting your body relax. What happens if you truly let your body relax? It's not surrendering to me, because surrendering would be letting the mind go all over the place, wherever it wants to go. The challenge is to keep the mind present, let the body relax. Taking your last few breaths. And then we're going to come out in reverse of how we came in. So you're going to roll onto your left hip just slightly so you can slide that right arm out. Take the right arm down to your side. Roll onto your right hip and right side body. Take the left arm out. And then before we do the second side, you can either just hug your arms around yourself like you're giving yourself a hug. You lift your elbows up. Sometimes that feels nice. Or you can bring your legs in and come into an egg and hug yourself. You might want to bring the legs in too. Yeah, just stretch those upper back and shoulders. And then we'll finish with the second side in that yin stretch. So start at least with your feet on the floor, knees bent. We're going to tuck the right arm first. So you're going to let your legs fall to the left, let your weight come into your left hip. And then internal rotation means your palm's going to be facing downward or towards the ground, right, away from your back. And turn that arm bone in. Slide your right arm somewhere by your low back. And then roll back onto your right hip. Roll onto your right hip, slide that left arm overhead, bend the elbow. See if you can get the left palm somewhere at the top of the shoulder blade. Might be all the way out on the edge of the shoulder, that's all right. One side might be different than the other. And start wherever you are, you can always deepen it. If you want to deepen it, then slide the left hand more towards the center of the spine. You can slide the right hand either further to the left side of the body or further up the body. But where you can let go and relax. Whenever leg position you want. If all else fails, come back into your breath. Let your breath out lead you down into the earth, into that space of letting go and relaxing. What are you holding on to in your shoulders, arms? Superheroes always have large shoulders, right? They carry the weight of the world on their shoulders. Strong upper body. We found that strength, now just release. When you're ready to come out of this second side, you can roll onto, I always do my top arm first, but you can do it either way. Roll onto your right hip, take your left arm down, and then roll onto your left hip, take your right arm out. However that works for you, take your time. Once again, you can give yourself a big hug with or without the legs. Roll your shoulders around. Any final movements or positions that you want before relaxation. Because you all have blocks, if you want a little bit of a restorative posture for your relaxation to open the chest, because we did a lot of arms and shoulders, pretty simply you can put the first block on the flattest side right in the center of the shoulder blades. And I would start with my knees bent, feet on the floor. And if this doesn't work for you, just come down to the ground. And the second block is going to go wherever your head needs to be supported. So it might be on the second height or the third height. There's no right or wrong, right? And just letting the shoulders and the chest breathe. Feeling the backside supported. If you want to add that in any leg position that you enjoy. Optional. So yoga gives us an opportunity to experience and acknowledge our fears. So many of them are internal, but others are taught by the outside world. Many are taught. There's Been a lot going on. I did not miss it while I was gone. There's been a lot going on in our neighborhood. And it's interesting to hear the two sides, the fear. The fear of Black Lives Matters, the fear of white supremacists. This is real stuff, right? They're all fears that we're taught, particularly right now by the media, who loves to throw that stuff in your face. And I'll just share with you something really important that happened for me yesterday, which was that I had a lovely mixed race couple from Kenosha that live in downtown Kenosha at my class yesterday. And he came to me and he said, as a black man, I've never felt so safe and supported and loved in my community as I do now. They're not saying that on the news. Just like that lizard toad, approach it curiously and with respect. But don't believe all the fear. Choose love. Feel the position of your physical body and just sense the way you're breathing naturally. Begin to deepen your breath. That feels good. Soothe your body with your breath. Feel that freedom of movement that your breath brings in. Feeling your breath through your backside, chest and the lungs, through the shoulders, under the collarbones, upper back. Take every breath out, you can just let any fear slide off of your shoulders. If you are on the blocks, you're going to want to bend your knees and place your feet on the ground. If you like rolling to the right, you can bend your right elbow and use that as a pillow so you'd roll to your side as opposed to sitting up. If you like to roll to your left, bend your left elbow, press into your feet, roll to the left. And you'll want to pause on your side, maybe in a fetal curl or even just do a little bit of undulation, cat-cows in your fetal curl. If you need more of a counter pose because of that supported back bend, you can hug your knees into your chest. What we learn from our yoga practice and from our life is that our fears are where our work is, whether it's internally or with what goes out, happens outside of us. And just remembering that that horned lizard was not the prettiest creature in some ways. It was a little scary looking, very prehistoric, very different. But don't judge a book by its cover, right? You can flip your palms up. Keep exploring your fears. Encourage you to do that. Journal about them, talk about them. There's so much freedom in letting go of fear. If you want, you can take your hands to the center of the heart. We're going to sing our Loka at the end. If you want to repeat after me, we'll do call and response. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu, sukhino bhavantu. Let's do the whole thing together. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all be blessed with peace and joy and love and light. Namaste. Thank you, ladies. Happy Sunday. A beautiful day. Turn that off. So sparkly.
Kind of quiet out there.
Kind of quiet, and I was thinking maybe we should start at 9.